fundamental rights. We are all born with innate rights that are human rights. These aren't rights that Americans have. These are born human rights that everybody deserves. And that's an important thing to consider when we're talking about people who come to America in search of work, seeking to escape poverty, seeking to escape tyranny. And that's what's going on. Mexico is filled with inequality, and yes, I am referring specifically to Latino immigrants because that's the majority of what's going on in this illegal immigration debate. A lot of it is surrounded by race, a lot of it is surrounded by prejudice and bias, and it's called the anti-Arizona law for a reason. And that's because it was a landmark law that went to the Supreme Court and was passed, and it allows discrimination to occur in Arizona, which basically says, oh, if I have reasonable suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant, I can detain you, I can arrest you, I can hold you for however long I need to until we get ICE to come and deport you. And that's not fair. That's not right for any human being. And so we have arbitrary lines that we fight over and have wars over. And part of the reason for that is because these lines dictate our lives, and they are going to determine what kind of life we're going to have. So we didn't really earn the right to be an American. We lucked out. We are lucky to be here. So we should be offering other people these same opportunities and welcoming them and saying, hey, we're glad you want to work. We're glad you want to work here and provide for our country and bring benefits and boost us, because that's what these immigrants are doing. They're in the fields, they're sweating, and they're beating under the blistering hot sun, and they're bringing their children out there to help them pick strawberries so that we can go to the store and have a surplus of strawberries that we only have to pay $4 for a little basket. So we're really lucky to have illegal immigrants that are boosting our economy. In fact, California's agriculture produces half of the entire nation's nuts, vegetables, and fruits. So without these laborers, our nation would suffer, California would suffer, and it's just an issue that isn't just pertaining to our state, it pertains to everyone around us. In history, we had, back after World War I and World War II, after wartime, we have programs and benefits and incentives for Mexican immigrants to come here and work. So after they came here, and we said, yeah, we're going to pay you to work, and we actually ripped them off because we didn't provide them the deductions that we promised them. So a lot of those immigrants didn't get the money they were promised. And then we had the Operation Wetback, where we deported them all again, and we said, okay, bye now, we don't need you anymore. So how fair is that? It's not. And right now, the treatment they get on these farms, the wages they get, I mean, how many of you worked this summer? All right, did any of you work for less than $8 an hour? Were any of you bending over for more than 8 hours a day? Yeah, it's a tough life, and it's what people are willing to do, living in houses full of 7 other people with blankets on the floor to survive, to pay for their families. And that's the kind of crisis these people are going through. And in the Harvard University Press, one person wrote, it was called The Remaking the American Mainstream, Assimilation and Contemporary Immigration.
Thank you, Anna.